Hi folks, how you doing? Just a quick follow-up to the last one. Yeah. Basically, if you look at the job of the church, they're supposed to teach us to love people unconditionally. Completely unconditionally. So therefore, if the church basically says now, you should love someone until they offend you, is that God's way or the devil's way? Isn't that what John the Baptist did? He loved the Lord until he was imprisoned with the threat of his head being cut off. Then he got offended. Then he sent message. Is it really the one? Are you really the one that we were waiting for? Suddenly that unconditional love disappeared, didn't it? So, yeah, that's the point. I mean, one thing I will also add, I was speaking to God earlier and just saying, look, the reality with regards to Mrs. B, if Mrs. B at any point in time in the future decides that she wants to be friends or have any form of fellowship, then, yeah, she will have to rebuild that bridge. But she's not to come to me about that. And that is the case for every person who has, smashed to pieces, that bridge between me and them. If they want to rebuild that bridge, that's between them and God. Only God's going to tell them how. I'm not going to tell them. Because really, it's in my best interest to have nothing to do with those people. In my understanding, I don't want anything to do with them at all. Put it this way, we have a phrase in, certainly my growing up, we had a phrase for people that you don't like. That if you found them in a ditch burning, you wouldn't even pee on them to put the fire out. With Mrs. B, I certainly wouldn't do that because I would suspect quite strongly that after the fire was put out, she would call the police and get me done for exposure. Yeah, for exposing myself. She'd get me done for that. So it's like, yeah, no. Yeah. It's a rather crude way of putting it, but that's the point. Can I trust her? No. Because she's already fooled me once. And as I say, whether that was what God wanted for me to see her in that way, I don't know. But the fact I did, and then I found out just how dark she is, no. I have no interest. If God wants that bridge to be rebuilt, then he's going to tell her exactly how to do it. But it's got nothing to do with me at all. Yeah, that's the thing. When it comes down to it, it's got nothing to do with me in any way, shape or form. Yeah. Because that's the point. I'm not responsible for her walk with God. No more than she is responsible for my walk with God. Yeah, there was always the offer there before that I would help her to get to where I am, but now the offer has been withdrawn. I have no interest in doing it because I don't want nothing to do with her in any way, shape or form. As I say, if the way of the people in those churches, is to basically say that you love people until they offend you and then you ban them from the church. Yeah. The level of stupidity that comes with dealing with people like that, I don't need it. I really don't. There's so much to focus on and so much to do in the future. I don't need that. I really don't. No. There's supposed to be complete and utter unconditional love. But when there isn't that, then one must say, okay, if you think there should be conditions, then fine, I will then put conditions on you. Because, do I think it's in my best interest to have any of those people in my life? No. No, it's just a complication. Well, put it this way, if I am friends with someone from the Community Church of God, but then I go into them and then Mrs. B happens to be there, we've got a problem, right? Is that worth it? No, of course not. No. And for me to actually share what God has given me, then I have to go into that church and stand out the front and share. Well, I can't do that. Yeah? If I'm not allowed in the church while she is there, I can't do that, can I? Same as the other church. I was banned from the other church because, because with the River Church, they want you to speak about the church in a positive way. So when the church does well, shout that out. When the church is doing crap, lie about it. Well, to me, it's like, well, hold it. No. This whole idea about you must say things that are encouraging. But excuse me, if I'm allowed to say something, then you get the good and the bad. You don't get the good alone, and you don't get the bad alone. You get the good and the bad. You get the true picture of how I see it, of how, what God is showing me. That's what you get. And when they are saying you can't do that, it's like, no, that's the point. You can do the things that I'm talking about, but I can't talk about them. Really? What's worse, you doing them or me talking about them? Because as I said before, if what I'm saying is absolute lies, what are you worried about? Why are you offended by that? As I say, use what I'm saying as an example. How people spread lies about you and how to deal with that. Right? If what I'm saying is lies. The problem is they know that what I'm saying is truth, and that's why they get offended, because what I'm saying is truth. It hurts because it's true. But then they think that me reporting what they're doing is far worse than what they're actually doing. To me, that doesn't make sense. It just doesn't. None of that makes sense to me in any way, shape or form. I can't see how that's wisdom. It's demonic, because what the devil wants is for you to keep sinning. Why? Because sin is designed to separate you from God. So the devil wants you to keep sinning, and he doesn't want other people to be trying to help you to know that, and know that what you're doing is sin. Anyway, So, that's my position. I'm not going to change on any of that, because it's nonsensical. As I say, if I'm wrong, I've invited those people to come on my video or invite me to the church to tell me where I'm wrong, and they won't do it. So therefore, I've got to assume I'm not wrong. Right, there you go. You take care. God bless. I'll speak to you soon. Have a fantastic rest of the week. Be blessed and have a fantastic weekend. And be a blessing. Bye-bye.